The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Thank you very much. We're joined by Her Excellency Sophia Brecknell, who is the Deputy Ambassador here in the United Arab Emirates. A very good morning and thank you for joining us and a happy National Day.
Good morning. It's a great pleasure to be here with you and happy National Day to you and all your listeners as well.
Well, Sophia, it's great to hear what's been going on with the British Embassy as well. And talk to us about the significance of the National Day for your team and for yourself as well.
Gosh, well, I arrived in the UAE about 18 months ago and I have two relatively small children at school here. So personally, the significance often revolves around costume and making sure that they have the right thing to wear to school when they're allowed not to wear their uniform, but to celebrate properly with the right colours and something suitably extravagant. So we have sorted that out. From a kind of embassy point of view, of course, it's a moment to understand and reflect along with the rest of the country on what has happened over the last 49 years. And I guess to think forward as well about what's coming up with the 50th celebration next year and for the next 50 years ahead for the country.
Well, it certainly is exciting times for us over here, but if we can quickly get more in details about the importance of the cultural and the economic relations with the United Arab Emirates, how significant is the country for the UK?
Oh, look, we have a very long and close history with the UAE, as you will probably know. That's been characterised by really close people-to-people connections in particular. So we have a large population of British residents here, around 100,000. I think about 2,000 of those are in the Northern Emirates, although I couldn't find a figure specifically for Sharjah. And under normal circumstances, we have over 1 million visitors every year coming to the UAE. We also are lucky enough to have a really strong tradition of Emiratis and other residents from here visiting the UK, both to study, to make use of our education establishments and also to be tourists and to see some of our culture there. So the cultural, educational and people-to-people links are very strong and getting stronger.
I'd also like to touch upon the fact that you've been here for 18 months so far and talk to us about what is your favourite pastime. Have you ventured out into the outskirts of the country? Is there any specific thing you'd like to do on a long weekend? What is your go-to spot?
Gosh, well, I haven't seen as much of the country as I would like to because, of course, COVID unexpectedly has put a bit of a dampener on my ability to get out and about. But nonetheless, as a zoologist or as a former zoologist, I have a particular interest in nature and in the local wildlife here. So we've been lucky enough as a family to get out on the water. I'll never forget the first time my children and I saw one of the humpback dolphins that live up by Emirates Palace Marina there. I'll never forget going into the Rub Al Khali and seeing the beautiful colours of the desert and really seeing other parts of the country in Fujairah, the oldest mosque there I visited with my mother. Just so many other things. I'm very keen to get out and do more, of course, particularly to see some of the nature in Sharjah and some of the protected areas I know and nature reserves that are a really amazing feature of the Emirates. So very much looking forward to that.
Well, certainly. We're looking forward to welcoming you here as well. Have you learned how to say National Day or something in Arabic over your 18 months in the country?
Gosh, I don't know how to say National Day, but I'm really... can you teach me? Do you know how to do it?
Yawm al-Watani Mubarak.
Yawm al-Watani Mubarak.
Watani, yes, with an N.
Watani.
Yeah, so we can say that again.
Yawm al-Watani Mubarak.
Wow, perfect, Sophia. That's very good. Thank you for that. Lastly, can we get one last statement for the British nationals as well as the UAE residents who are celebrating the National Day in the country as your way of socially distant celebrations and how important it is to join in the celebrations of the host country?
Yes, of course. Well, yes, we all have to think about COVID. It's important to think about and follow the rules, as we will all be doing carefully, I'm sure. And thanks to all of our residents and our citizens who've done that throughout the outbreak. Well, listen, I think go out, find out what's happening and join in. The UAE is a country made up of incredible diversity. The British community has a long and very positive contribution that it's made and will continue to make. So I wish everyone a really happy and peaceful and safe celebration. Let's look forwards to the next 50 years and those people-to-people, economic and other links that bind us so closely together.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning, Your Excellency, and it's a pleasure to have you, and a happy National Day to you too.
Happy National Day. Yom al-Watani Mubarak.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.